Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show, where we cover all the major news headlines that you need to know about going into your workday, going into the week, going into the day, maybe your next podcast after you debark from our fabulous show, baby. It's good to see all of you. I look like shit. I'm tired, but I don't care anymore. I can't help my face. I look terrible. Anywho, we're going to jump right into the news here. We got Donald Trump possibly going to bomb the Iranians. And look, it needs to happen. And I've been triggering these lefties on TikTok every day, and I am having the time of my life. I spent, I don't know how long yesterday, triggering these progressive lefties. And I know some of them are men, and for those on audio, because we got a lot of people listening to this on audio, I put that in air quotes for you, because the Democrat men wear their women's underwear, their wives' underwear, they put their hair in pigtails, they put on their wife's makeup when they're at the store, all that weird stuff. And it's never been easier. It's never been easier to trigger these people, and I'm having the time of my life. So I did a video on Iran, and they lost it. And they said, well, who is the United States to tell Iran that they can't have a nuke? They're a sovereign nation. And how is it that you will allow Israel, the Jews, to have a nuclear warhead? How's that fair? Well, you idiots, let me explain. Israel isn't the leading sponsor of terrorism and doesn't want to wipe off entire countries from the face of the earth. It's not that hard. Look at that. I did it in a sentence. I could probably do it in less. I could probably do it in less words. It's amazing. It's like Sesame Street with Elmo. Trump confirms U.S. moving some personnel from Middle East could be a dangerous place. Oh. President Trump confirmed on Wednesday evening that some U.S. personnel are moving out of the Middle East amid rising tensions with Iran. Quote, well, they are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place and we'll see what happens. But we've given notice to move out, Trump said. That means something's coming. That means there's going to be big boom booms. And that's all I wrote. That's my comment back. There's going to be some big boom booms. Now you're like, Brad, I've heard that before. I've heard you say this before, that there's going to be big boom booms. Yeah, that was just when I was talking about Joey and his diaper. Okay. We're past Joey and his diaper. That big shit storm is now in Iran, let me tell you. Or it's going to be. He added that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. No, sir. Remember, Iran, and this is not a joke, by the way, it's not me being satirical. Iran's policy in their country, according to the supreme leader, remember, he said, quote, this is an exact quote, death to America is not a slogan, it's a policy. That's what he said. Not my words, his. That's a problem. I don't really like when somebody wants to hurt me, my friends, family, doesn't matter what it is. I don't care, Democrat or Republican. If you're an American and you're threatening me, you deserve big boom booms. We are not going to allow that, he said. I mean, at least Trump's being clear here. Remember when Joey was reading the wind? Little wish-washy guy. I'm going to do something, I swear. Just after my nap and my week-long vacation. I could smell you through the mic. What a weirdo. Freaking psycho Joe. Major developments began unfolding in the Middle East on Wednesday following the announcement that the United States is reducing personnel and its missions in Baghdad and Erbil. Is it Erbil? Herbal tea? The hell is that? And reportedly permitting some non-essential personnel. Oh, I'm starting again. Oh, baby, we're on it already. Non-essential personnel dependents to leave other countries in the region. Why would you need to leave other countries? Because somebody's going to carpet bomb the Iranians, and mostly it's going to be their nuclear installations. Sorry, I saw something in the chat. I didn't know if I wanted to acknowledge it or not. The move comes after Iran's defense minister, check this out. Oh, baby. Iran's defense minister threatened to strike American bases if nuclear negotiations fail and conflict arises. Now, I don't know if it's look, these people are idiots. So I don't know if he meant an and statement or an or statement. I don't know if this is conditional. And I don't trust the Iranians anyways. So the problem here is, guess what failed? Yes, yesterday, allegedly, it was out that the nuclear negotiations did fail. So is that why Trump's pulling things out? Because now that they failed, the Iranians are going to start hitting our bases? Oh boy. You going to F around and find out, I guess. If anybody's curious, sometimes I think the world forgets how powerful our military is. You know what I mean? I think they really do. And no, come here. No. Patriots, if you need to take a water break, get a cup of coffee, refill, this one's not for you. This is for the Iranians. Yes, the same people that do death threats to me. Yeah, see, when you get big enough, you start getting death threats. That's always fun. Isn't it fun? Anyways. So, history lesson. There was a thing called the Gulf War. Y'all remember that? 1991. It was against Iraq, the third largest military in human existence. And I like to say we wiped them out in 2 weeks. So, okay, so people say a couple months. You know, we got to play with our food. You can't send billions of dollars of military grade equipment to the Middle East and just run roughshod over somebody, blow your load within like the first, you can't blow your load within the first couple minutes, okay? For military terms, that's the first 2 weeks. And then you got to do a little bit of play after, you know what I mean? You got to play after. You got to let the boys have fun, okay? You flew all the way over there. 2 weeks, it ain't enough. It ain't enough. All right, so the Iranians then wanted to F around and find out later on in history. And we wiped out half their military, specifically their Navy, in about 48 hours. Now, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not too much. Not too much, really. So it's okay. Yeah, Iran wants to find out again. That's fine. Sometimes, some of you have kids. Sometimes one ass whooping is not enough. I'm old school, baby. I'm old school. I used to get hit. And you know what? I appreciate it now. We just didn't hit Iran enough. That's all it is. You know what I mean? More spankings. Yeah, more spanky. So a State Department official confirmed to the Daily Wire that it is reducing its footprint at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. President Trump is committed to keeping Americans safe, both at home and abroad. In keeping with that commitment, we are constantly assessing the appropriate personnel posture at all our embassies. Based on our latest analysis, we decided to reduce the footprint of our mission in Iraq. I wonder how true that is, but we'll see. There was rumors a while ago that Trump wasn't going to be the one that was going to bomb the Iranians if these negotiations fell through, that he was going to have the Israelis do it. And I'm fine with that. Get the Israelis out there. You know, they want to fight. They want to be all toughy. Let them bomb these installations. I'm not asking for people to die. You know, there'll be a couple in there. There always is. But I'm not asking for Israel, United States to start killing civilians. See, this is where the psycho left goes all the time when you're talking to them. Oh, how could you go after the people of Iran? They're good people. They're just out there trying to make a bunch of naan. Okay, that's the Indians, but you know what I mean. I don't know what do the Iranians make? Real good coffee? I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not asking for them to go carpet bomb the actual civilians. That's crazy. I don't want that for anybody. I don't even want that for the Palestinians. I just want them not to have a nuke. It ain't that hard. Because when you start chanting crazy stuff and you're the leading sponsor of terrorism, here's the thing. You could pick up that nuke that you made. I know this is difficult for them. I know you guys got to do visuals. If I had puppets, I'd do the whole thing, the whole bit for these Democrats, because it's you understand. You pick up the nuke and you hand it to the terrorist, and the terrorist does what he wants with it. There you go. So according to Axios, Israel officials told the outlet that the IDF has been on extremely high alert in recent days due to the possible escalation with Iran. In an interview with the New York Post this week, Trump said he is getting less confident about getting Iran to make an acceptable deal. Dude, I keep saying this, Trump, I think, and maybe he's waking up to this, I don't know. They don't want to be our friends. Obviously. And Trump, they don't want to be your friend. Trump, they tried to kill you. I think that's that's like having a wife that's like slowly putting rat poison in your oatmeal. I don't think she likes you, bud. I don't think she wants you around anymore. I think it's fair to say, or I'll go as far as she's on body cam footage, right? You're sleeping there in bed late at night, right? You just busted your ass at work. You're flipping through the stations and you pop on TLC. And you're seeing body cam footage of your wife. You're like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Nancy? What are you doing on TV? And she's hiring a hitman is what she's doing. We've all seen those TLC shows late at night. No, I'm not talking about Half-Ton Dad or 300 pounds and gaining. We've seen those shows. I'm talking about you're seeing your wife trying to delete you. Is it fair to say that she doesn't want you around? The Iranians are your wife. Trump. They tried to kill you already. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still trying to do it. So we will see what happens with that. But I heard rumors late last night. Now, take this one really with a grain of salt. Just because it's coming out of my mouth don't mean it's true. When I say that statement with a grain of salt, I was hearing there was B-52s that were taken off. Now, that was last night. Not sure. Doesn't sound legit in my opinion. But I at least want to show you what's going on here with the news. So Iran is trending. Now, that doesn't really mean much. But no war with Iran. We voted no more wars. No. See. You're missing. We don't want to go to war. We just want to bomb the nuclear facilities so they can't get a nuclear warhead. If Iran goes nuclear, it will cause more. Jesus, I can't see that. It will be because they chose escalation, not diplomacy. The U.S. and Israel are prepared to stop them. Oh, yeah. Who are you to tell Israel or Iran anybody what they can do? Well, it's called force. And Andrew Wilson of The Crucible talks a lot about the force doctrine. And I like Andrew. And Andrew whoops people's ass. That's exactly what Iran needs, an ass whooping. By destroying their nuclear facilities. This Mr. Jha got it right. This is probably what things would look like here. That's a big boom boom. Anywho, if you're having a good time, hit that like button, folks. We do this each and every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on the Bald Brad Show. Thank you to everybody that also mods the channels. Appreciate you. God bless you. There's a lot of news. Again, we're going to be here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, most likely. Now, can we cleanse our palate? I know I say that quite often, but can we cleanse our palate? I've been so giddy to show you guys this for the last 9 hours. 9 hours. I've been like, I couldn't sleep. Now, if you're doing the dishes, if you're not looking at your phone, if you are painting a wall, if you are eating breakfast, or if you're looking away from my stream for any reason, this is the one time I need you to look at the stream. This is for you. It's not for me. You're going to love it. So, what we have here is a few varios, homie, trying to antagonize these police officers. It looks like maybe the sheriff's department, but I can't tell because it's a little blurry. For some ungodly reason, Elon still can't get X up to 1080p. You can only upload 720. So, this gentleman in the black is going to throw something at these police officers. I want you to watch what happens. You're going to thank me later.
Whoa! Stop! Jesus, you just hit me!
You just hit me!
I just got hit with the left football. Yeah, I'm okay. All right, I got hit with a less lethal. I'm okay. That's what the Kevlar is for. I have Kevlar tights on under my pants, so it didn't penetrate anything.
Okay, yes, we are playing that again. Absolutely. Now, you have to wonder, would this be better with music? Would this be better maybe with some wrestling music? Absolutely. I'll make sure I cue it up perfectly. But here we go.
You just hit me! I just got hit with the left one. Yeah, I'm okay. Alright, I got hit with a left lethal. I'm okay. That's what the Kevlar is for. I have Kevlar tights on under my pants, so it didn't penetrate anything.
Yo, I love this. Can I do voiceover really quick? Can you guys indulge me? I'm so sorry. Can you just indulge me for one moment? Yo, fuck you, fool. We out here on South Street. Yes, you can't mess with me. Oh, here's my water bottle, homie. Here's my Modelo. Boom. Oh. Now, again, it is better with music. You're right. I see you guys in the chat. I got you. I'm sorry.
I just got hit with the left lethal. Yeah, I'm okay. Alright, I got hit with the left lethal. I'm okay. That's what the Kevlar is for. I have Kevlar tights on under my pants, so it didn't penetrate anything.
God, I love it, dude. Isn't that great? Now we're back with the video clip really quick because I want to break this down. I want to do a play-by-play. You have this fool showing off his belly rolls. I love that, right? Oh, check it out, homie. Check it out. I can't put my pants up correctly, fool, but whatever, eh? Hey, fool. Like, we out here on 17th Street, LASA represent. And what you see is he takes out a tall can, right? Acting tough. Right there. Not sure what that is. That might be a Monster, maybe an energy drink. And he's leaning back, which tells me he's never thrown anything in his life. The weight is on the wrong foot. And then he throws it, right? And not much there. And this guy is perfect because what you're going to see is it's a distraction. You think he's looking at this guy, right? No. Watch this. It's almost like he just knows. Watch. Just boom. See that? Boom. 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 Right there. And just everybody just has fun with them. Just starts unloading. This guy, forward motion, tactical. You get your balance in there. It's going to offset whatever comes back your way so you're able to get another oomph. And he's just getting pelted in the back. He's running like an essay right here. You know what I mean? You get your hand on the belt area. The reason for that is you want to make sure your pants don't fall down. And you have to run a certain way if you're an essay, homie. Is you got to run like this. You know what I'm saying? You got to run like this. You're not running like this, like everybody else, right? A normal person. You got to run like this, fool. Hey. I got my K-Swiss on, homie. We're going all the way back to early 2000s. My Nike Cortezes. Orale, homie. Here we go. And then you got this bulldog baby. You got this guy coming out and look. You think he's done it before? I mean, he got some chicken leg. Look at those things. There ain't no meat on those legs. Coming down. He crouches. This is the perfect stunner. This is like Edge from the WWE days. And we're going to go slow here. He gets him, right? Perfect form. Shoulder to sternum. Automatically knocks the wind out of the guy. Done. Okay? Earbuds go flying. And at this point, it is perfect form. And what you want to do, just like we saw with the lady the other night, you want to get the person parallel to the cement. Maximum force. He does his job. I did a play-by-play the other night. I know this. I'm a connoisseur of these types of maneuvers, folks. What you want at this point is, and he does it perfectly, is you put your force on the upper end of the body so that you get a nice, flat, just to cement to surface area ratio of the head and torso. And that's exactly what you're going to get. Now, this guy is more of an elitist, I have to say. The reason why is because he goes, I don't want just the head to be the point of contact. I want the upper torso to be, because I want all that momentum to go from that guy's ass all the way to his head. And what you're going to see is, boom! This guy right here, the guy in the white, legend. Legend. Look at that. Boom. And he's out. And he's sleeping. Look at that. Oh, yep. Yep. He's dreaming about what Mexico used to be like. Yep. So what's cool is they just let the guy up. You know, the cops were like, holy shit, man, that was fucking awesome. Holy shit, that was great. Right? He's still like trying to spar, like, fucking, you know, he thinks he's fighting somebody off right now, the guy in the white. If you notice that, he ain't fighting with nobody. The cops are just going around the guy. The cops went past him. I think he expected him like to get in a fight or something. So he's like, fucking, get off of me. I'm for you, guy. I love the cops. I love the blue. And nobody's messing with him. If anything, they help him up. He's like swinging to the sky. There ain't nothing going on. Look at him. So they help him up. And he's like, fuck, guys. Are we cool? Are we fine? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. That was cool. Peace. That was nice knowing you. But he's like, what the fuck? They just let the guy go. They just let the guy go. And then they arrest the other guy. Oh, my God. Thank you for indulging me. Wasn't that one of the coolest things ever? Wasn't that one of the coolest freaking things ever? All right. Back to the Middle East. No, that wasn't the Middle East. I know it looked like it. That was Los Angeles. Yep. I know they look similar nowadays. Yeah. Fecal matter on the street, dirt everywhere, trash littered. Yes. Stinky. All right. IDF recovers bodies of 2 more hostages in Gaza. I'm already waiting for the funeral. That's terrible. The Israel Defense Forces announced Wednesday that it recovered the bodies of 2 more Israeli hostages from Gaza. The IDF announced that it recovered the body of 59-year-old from the Khan Yunis area of the Gaza Strip. The other hostages' names have not been released. And the individual is believed to have been abducted on October 7th and taken to Gaza, where his body has remained for over 600 days. In February 2024, the kibbutz announced that the individual had been murdered in captivity. I was told Hamas are good people. Yeah, that's what I was told by the Palestinians. I mean, everybody that goes online, I hear it. I hear how terrible Israel is and how great Hamas is. That's what I hear from them. I don't know what you guys have been hearing. I hear it on interviews. I watch Piers Morgan. I listen to Hassan Piker. I've heard what that guy said. I mean, the guy, I'm just listening. I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him. It almost sounds like the guy is a little for terrorism. Kind of walks that fine line, dips into it a little bit. You know what I mean? What's that called? Is it called petting? Maybe he's petting. You know, petting for Hamas. The 3 other bodies of hostages were recovered in the past 7 days, including Israel-American couple, as well as a Thai national. The recoveries come as Israel and Hamas continue to negotiate a ceasefire, with Hamas using hostage bodies as a bargaining chip. The body of the father of 3 was recovered by the IDF troops of the Southern Command and underwent an identification procedure by the National Institute of Forensic Medicine in cooperation with the Israel police. So we're still dealing with that shenanigans, and people are out. People are out last night. I don't know if you guys saw that. People are out last night. This isn't going to show it, but it shows my point. So they're bringing out the Mexican flag, but they're also bringing out the Palestinian flag now. I saw this more in New York last night than I did LA, but it's also happening in LA. And you could tell who are the Hamas supporters because they wear the scarf. Look at all of them. They're all around here. And they were chanting something like, oh God, what was their stupid chant? Well, anyways, they're chanting Free Palestine, but they had something that rhymed with it. You know what I mean? They always have the rhyming stuff. Like peace, not war. That's what we're here for. So I want to at least show you a little bit of the protests from different areas of last night, and then we'll continue the news. Oh, yeah. Hold on, what was it? They go, no KKK, no fascist USA. See, they always got to make it rhyme.
Are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get out, then you must get cool. Bad boys, bad boys.
So I believe this is NYPD, by the way. I think I have it right. And you know what kind of I watched Nick Shirley's stream last night, and I'll kind of play this while I'm talking. And all these guys, right, were heroes 20 years ago. I would say as far as like 15 years ago, from 9/11, all these police officers were beloved by the city. And now they're just shouting slurs and spitting at them and calling them pigs, and they're horrible people. Do you guys remember how the firefighters and the men and women of law enforcement were just the most beloved people in 9/11? 20 years ago. And I would say that love went on for like a decade. It just shows you how quick things change in our country and how savage these people are. Just how savage these people are. Yeah, Nick is great. Nick is great. Nick actually got taken out yesterday because it was getting too hairy for him. They threw Gatorade, a bunch of water. I thought they're going to kick his ass. You see that cop with that camera? That's actually really smart. I haven't seen that before. So that's really smart because he can gather video as evidence. And also, if anybody's doing anything amok, he also has, clear image of what they look like. That's awesome. Look at that hero, huh? They're going to save Palestine. They're going to save the illegals. I haven't confirmed what I'm about to show you if it's true or not. So people keep posting this video and it looks like, yeah, this video is not legit. It got flagged. Okay, so I'm not even going to bother. There was rumors that a bunch of bikers were going to show up to LA and kind of help ICE agents and the police out. So it looks like that didn't actually, it looks like it's not legit. So just, I'll show you kind of what I was referring to. It ended up getting hit that there was the bikers geolocated in the Los Angeles area in 2022 has nothing to do with the city of 2025. So there's an old video. And I like that there's community notes now. There's so much video. There's so much stuff being thrown out there. You almost don't know what's true. And everything's happening so quick and in real time. Going back to the Middle East, Malay, I believe is how you say his name. It's the Argentinian president, the guy that loves Trump. And look, the guy's completely turned around Argentina. You got to give it to the guy. It turns out when you put a conservative, not even a Republican, when you put a conservative guy at the top, it turns out things financially turn out to be okay. By the way, that's why a lot of accountants tend to be conservative. A lot of it. Would you want a Democrat accountant? Kind of seems a little weird, right? You usually go to an accountant because you want to make sure that your finances are in order, right? Yeah. So would it make sense to have a Democrat that can't even budget correctly? Not really. Kamala Harris couldn't even budget a campaign. Joe Biden couldn't even budget. You got California Gavin Newsom that can't budget correctly. So Malay moves embassy to Jerusalem. In a world of cowards, Israel bravely defends its right to exist. So not only did Trump move the embassy to Jerusalem, now you got Argentina, who it's only going to piss off the people that hate Israel. I don't hate Israel. I don't love Israel. I look at Israel as a tool, as a mechanism, as a aircraft carrier for us in the Middle East. That's how I look at it. And I look at it as an ally that loves to fight. And Israel gets us in the tough situations, sticky situations. Remember, Israel has nuclear warheads. It's all chess, folks. That's all it is. It's the Game of Thrones. Well, he announced Wednesday that Argentina will move its embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, declaring in a world of cowards, Israel bravely defends its right to exist. Argentina will not stand aside. We will support Israel with all our strength, which is a very bold thing to say and a good thing to say. The Argentina embassy will move to Jerusalem during the year 2026. My brothers and sisters, Argentina stands by you in these difficult days. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for much of the international community. That is true. You should hear what the United Nations has to say about Israel just out there in the open. And mind you, guess what they say behind Israel's back? Even worse things. You could just read a bunch of books on it, folks. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for much of the international community that is being manipulated by terrorists and turning victims into perpetrators. It is important to understand that we are in the midst of a battle between good and evil, and we begin to lose this battle when we begin to not distinguish between the two. Man, hold on a second. Where are we at here? Let's just go here. If you take that one sentence and apply it to what's happening in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Denver, with the progressive lefties out there supporting terrorism, illegal immigrants, violent rioting. I did a video yesterday on TikTok that was asking, hey, I'm a little confused. If it's so peaceful, why do we need a curfew? I'm going to say that again. If it is so peaceful, these protests, why do you need a curfew? And if you don't believe what I'm about to say, you can go check the receipts for yourself. Oh, well, it was all peaceful till Donald Trump sent in the National Guard and the military. I always love to stutter when I'm one of them. They're blaming Trump. So they admit that they admit that it's not peaceful, but rather than blaming the dude that's ransacking a Nike store to get shoes that don't even fit, or an Apple to steal a cell phone that doesn't even work for them, it's just bricked, bunch of idiots. They're going to blame Donald Trump. Don't blame the person that's committing the crime, which is so typical of these Democrats. Let's blame some dude that lives in a house 3,000 miles away on the East Coast for the crime. It is bonkers the way these guys think. So we're going to pick this paragraph up and just close your eyes. Just close your eyes and just think, could this apply to what's happening in LA? That is, being manipulated by terrorists and turning victims into perpetrators. It is important to understand that we are in the midst of a battle between good and evil, and we begin to lose this battle when we begin to not distinguish between the two. Gee. Criminals coming into our country, which is a crime. I know that you have Democrat representative Jasmine Crockett say that it's not a crime. To come into the country illegally is a crime. If you overstay your visa or something, yeah, it's civil, but a lot of these came over in here. It's a crime. And what's happening is these idiots can't distinguish between the two. Good and evil. It is evil to commit a crime. It is. So good for him for bringing that to the Jerusalem. So here's some more footage. I'm going to keep like interlocking footage of what's going on with the riots. This is from New York. This is always fun. Remember, peaceful. Yeah, completely peaceful. You know, why don't I play the reporter as I'm playing this? We're out here on 2nd Street and West 3rd. And yeah, it's mostly peaceful out here. Nothing really to see. Just a couple uniform officers and a bunch of peaceful protesters out here. It's a little warm. I'm not sure why, Jeff. But back to you. Yeah, hey Brad, we're seeing a police car completely lit on fire right there, or the aftermath of it. It looks like it was beating the crap out of. Yeah, we got reports that the NYPD officer just lost control of his vehicle. Who are you getting that from, Brad? We have a guy wearing a Hamas tactical outfit, pro-Palestinian, saying that's what happened. We're getting reports that there's multiple vehicles right now that were on fire. They look like they are ash, melted metal. Yeah, I see that too, Jeff. Well, again, we're being told that these were mostly peaceful protests. And, God, my back is really warm. And it's not bad out here. Bunch of idiots. Whole place is ablaze behind you. It's pretty fine. Yeah, it's good. Nothing to see here. So now they are, looks like they're macing police officers. I think this is mace. They're spraying something at them. This is in Tucson, Arizona yesterday. This guy gets hit with, I think it's mace. And with the distance, it looks like it's like some serious bear mace or something. That's crazy. Wow. Peaceful. Now this is Tucson. I was told that the LA mayor is basically telling the LAPD to stand down. That's what I've been told. Take that one with a grain of salt. But here's the problem. It wouldn't surprise me if that was true. Look at these guys being assaulted. No, these are peaceful. These are good guys. I am told again that there's nothing happening here. This is completely fine. Yeah, it's Donald Trump's fault. Yes, everything on your screen right now this is all Donald Trump is doing this, you guys. Stop it. Come on in the chat. This is Donald Trump's fault. It's all Trumpy. No. I don't know why are they not being arrested? I have no idea. Not a clue. Maybe there's not enough guys here. I don't know. But they got the riot shields out. You know, they got their little poster board from Staples that they folded. They had their arts and crafts last night. God. See, here's the thing, man. If I was governor or if I was mayor of LA or Tucson, doesn't matter what it is, this is all you're going to hear. This is all you're going to hear from me. Fuck their shit up. And they get upset. The lefties, they lose their mind just over something simple like that. How could you tell them to beat up peaceful protesters? Because they're not able, it's a remarkable thing. They're not able to comprehend that you're talking about violent criminals. You're not able, if you mace a federal agent or a police officer, doesn't matter what it is, that you deserve to get your ass kicked. And I want you to get your ass kicked as you're being arrested. Because you tried to kick somebody else's ass, meaning a police officer, you deserve to get your face grinded in the pavement to the full extent. And then we'll bring you to jail. With a couple body shots. And they go, well, you know, if it was turned on you, how would you like that? Well, if it was turned on me and I was out there doing crap like this and I was throwing stuff at police officers and throwing mace and huge gates at them, I would tell them as I'm on the ground, kick my ass. Yes, sir, I deserve this. If they threw punches at me, 100% deserve it. But by the way, I wouldn't attack a police officer because I'm not an idiot. Not an idiot. The only time that I would ever attack like a police officer, a military personnel, was if our government went usurpacious and was full blown going against American citizens. Full blown. Not this, oh, we're arresting a guy here and there because they did something. It's the only time. Other than that, I'm not putting my, by the way, I don't even want to talk to a police officer other than saying, hey, sir, I see you out here, at a McDonald's or Starbucks. Can I get you a cup of coffee? I always buy them a cup of coffee and a meal. Hand to God, whenever I see men and women in uniform, I don't care what they are, I'll buy them a hot meal there and a cup of coffee. And if they don't trust me, I'll say, you know what, you order it, I'll pay for it, and I'll walk away. We have yesterday's White House press briefing, which, if any of you are new here, this is our bread and butter. I mentioned this time and time again because I think it helps partially. It's not a bragging thing. I think it helps build credibility for the show a little bit when we say that there's White House correspondents that watch the show. I'm not saying they watch every day, but we, meaning I, talk to people that are sitting in that room. And I think it's helpful that you have a show here that goes, oh, Brad knows people that sit down and are the ones that ask that question each and every day. Yes, hand to God, I do. I promise you, I don't know if we're allowed to swear to God. I talk to people in that room. Those people in that room have seen the show many times. I send them clips of the show. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt issued a stark warning to any potential protesters who had a mind to engage in the same sort of violence and vandalism that has been seen in Los Angeles over the last several days, saying from the press room podium, you will not succeed. Leavitt's warning comes after 5 days of violent protests and riots in Los Angeles, sparked by protesters who are attempting to prevent U.S. immigration and customs enforcement from doing their job. So here's Caroline yesterday, the gorgeous, the wonderful.
An unequivocal message to left-wing radicals in other parts of the country who are thinking about copycatting the violence in an effort to stop this administration's mass deportation efforts. You will not succeed. Any lawlessness will only strengthen this president's resolve to defend the majority of Americans who want to live their lives peacefully, free from the fear of violent, criminal, illegal aliens. As President Trump said, order will be maintained and illegal aliens will be expelled from our country. And let this be an unequivocal message.
Unequivocal message. Now, I'm not seeing, they're starting to arrest a lot more people. I want a lot more arrests. You know, these people, it's all they do is they talk shit behind a fence because, you know, they got daddy issues or something like that. And, why don't you cross over and see what happens? But they don't. They don't. Because they don't really mean, I don't want to say they don't mean what they mean, but their actions, it's always with words. It's never with actions. You know, we did a whole, 3.5 hour stream. I wanted to see LA pop off. They don't really believe in what they do. Peace, not war. It's like, okay. Yeah. With your scarf that you bought at 99-cent store. Gotcha. So you have Republicans pushing for this. I am in full support of this. Republicans are pushing federal ban now on blocking interstates after LA riots caused highway chaos. Thank you. I would like to point out all these people in this image should be arrested. This is not legal, by the way. You are not allowed to shut down roads when you protest. From my understanding, it's a citation. Let's look that up real quick. Let's look that up. Where is it? Can you legally block roads while... Maybe I'm wrong. We're about to find out. We're about to find out if Brad's wrong. Blocking roads during protests is generally not protected under the First Amendment if it disrupts public safety or interferes with others' rights. Most states and cities have laws against obstructing public highways or roadways. For example, in California, Penal Code Section 370 defines obstructing a public street as a misdemeanor. However, courts sometimes balance free speech rights with public order, and so peaceful protests with permits may be allowed. Well, that's the thing, is they don't have permits, do they? Do they? No, they don't. Congressional Republicans are advancing a bill that would make it a federal crime to block interstate highways after mass deportations in Los Angeles caused major backups on roadways. It was bad. I can't emphasize this enough. This right here, and I've driven this many of times to work, by the way. You should take this north to work all the day and this freaking thing back. If there's already traffic, there's never not traffic on the 101. It is like an artery. It's like the arteries in your jugulars for LA. You cut this off, you are screwing over millions, maybe hundreds of thousands, and that's me being generous. Hundreds of thousands of people. Not to mention now you got 8 o'clock. There's people that work past 8 all the time that commute. Congressional Republicans are advancing a bill that would make it again a federal crime to block interstate. You got Mike Collins of Georgia reintroduced the bill, the Safe Passage on Interstate Act, in February. After it stalled in the Senate last year, the legislation would create a federal law against the international obstruction of interstate highways. I agree with this. Get the hell out of the road. Or at least, hey, you want to protest in the middle of the road? I get to run you over. There is nothing peaceful about the riots and looting we've seen in Los Angeles. Oh, but that's not what I'm told. What do you mean? And then these psychos on TikTok always go, well, can you name any Democrats? Yes. Gavin Newsom, Maxine Waters, AOC, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Cory Booker, Hakeem Jeffries, Karen Bass. I mean, shall we continue? That's 8 off the top of my head. And it's, that's only 8. There's like hundreds of them. Yeah, well, we're not going to spend the entire show going down every single Democrat that's for this, okay? You can go open up Google yourself and figure it out, you keyboard warrior. Blue states and cities have shown that they would rather have lawlessness and dysfunction over law and order, and we need to get these people off our streets and in jail where they belong. Can we get that here in California? Who is this? Who's saying this again? This guy's a saint. Mike Collins of Georgia. Love you. Love it. The Safe Passage on Interstates Act would give Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel the tools to put an end to highway protests and lock these criminals up. Yes, thank you. The push to give more tools to federal authorities comes after demonstrators have repeatedly flooded the 101 freeway in Los Angeles. Lock them up, arrest them. By the way, they already get a misdemeanor. Get them off the street. Get them out of the highway. But again, that's why I believe that Karen Bass is telling the LAPD to stand down. Because there's not much happening if you notice. Like there's people they'll pull them in and that's it. But they're not going after, right? They're kind of just standing there watching things happen. If you're blocking the street, you can use the sidewalk. Yeah, you don't have a permit, you can use the sidewalk. So we have that for you. And I think Dave Taylor of Ohio is right here. Ohio's Dave Taylor said that from families driving their children to school to truck drivers transporting goods to law enforcement responding to emergencies, that's a huge one for me. We all depend on the nation's roads being clear and safe every day. Well, they don't care. People were trying to go to work yesterday. Did you guys see that clip? Let me see if I can find it. Of a black lady was trying to go to work yesterday. And this psycho was these two white people. It's always the white people. You notice that? It's always these freaking white, liberal, snowflake women. So it's right here. We watched this together, though. Look at these. There's a common theme with how they look. That the man bun, the man titties, the guy's nipples are the size of freaking softballs. Drinking a little sleeve with his bicycle, his road bike. And then you got this with the butch haircut. She's trying to go to work. And I said this before, she's trying to speak logic to these people. There's no logic. There's no brain's not functioning. They don't work. These people don't. If they do, it's, put the fries in the bag. Here we go.
I have a kid. I know, and these people are having their children taken and Then what happens to my kid? I can't help it. But you can if you could just move out the way. You're not going to. How is this a peaceful protest if there's nothing to do? No, it's not.
How do you all as white people feel about stopping a black woman from going to work?
Oh no, not work. I can't.
Did you hear that? Oh no, not work. Yeah, you should try it. And also washing your damn hair, you freak.
No, not work.
Yeah, I'm gonna be an asshole. If he's gonna look, I will give back whatever you give me. If you're gonna block people and you're gonna laugh in front of that lady's face as she's trying to go to work to pay her bills because you think that you're gonna be a fucking hero, you're the next Superman of the comic book series with your man bun, and you know this guy's wearing a thong. There ain't no way in hell this guy's not wearing a thong. That thing's rode so far up his ass. This guy is telling somebody and laughing in their face that they're not able to go, oh, work. Yeah, you should try it. Oh, I do work.
I care so much.
So you don't care about stopping black people from going to work?
Look at this line that you guys are causing. I'm not causing no problems. I'm not trying to. We're just trying to leave.
Too much logic here. Very sweet woman. You could tell that she's probably not into politics all that much, right? You see this hand gesture. I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just want to go to work. Ma'am, welcome to the Republican Party. Welcome to what Democrats and how Democrats act. You can't speak logic to them. That's why it's a waste of time to speak to these people. Now, somebody say, well, Brad, you speak to them on social media all the time. It creates engagement for me. I am trolling the crap out of these people online to create engagement, folks. That's why I ask if you could head over to TikTok. TikTok actually, I say, hey, make sure you hit that like button. That works. And I say, hey, comment. Truthfully, that does work if you can comment and stuff. The live chat doesn't work. As far as why live chat doesn't create engagement, I don't know. But for some reason, you have to put your live chat message in the comment section. They're two separate things. On TikTok, heavily likes when you heart something in the comments and when you engage with other people. So that's why I messaged a few of the Patriots, baby. If you have the time, it doesn't have to be much. Just put emojis in every single comment that there is and troll the crap out of them. So Dizzy and Jeff, I know both of you are on TikTok. If you could help me when I upload something, just go in there and spam the crap out of it and start fighting these guys with me. Just fucking just start swinging. Dude, I was having the time of my life yesterday. I know I keep saying it, but God. Well, the celebrities are complaining about the Los Angeles ICE raids. Oh, yes. These celebrities that have millions of dollars, they just think they're like one of us, you guys. Yeah, it turns out every single one of them had $2 in their bank account when they made it. You know, it's the same story. Yeah, I came here at 75 cents in my bank account. And I was smoking a ciggy on the side of the street, and the agent walked up to me and said, hey, you want to be in a movie? And they all have the same stupid ass story, which isn't how it works at all. It turns out, oh yeah, you've been auditioning for years. You're in a bunch of commercials beforehand. Yeah, you didn't really have 75 cents in your fucking bank account. You just pulled it out of your ass. They all have the same bullshit story. I had $3 and I was going to buy a hot dog. And when I was standing in line at Pink's Hot Dogs in LA, an agent walked up from CCA or CAA, whatever one, and says, hey, you just have a look about you. You ever thought about auditioning for a movie? And that was it. And I was a made man or woman. Sure. Yeah. It wasn't the casting couch where you sat there. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. They have millions of dollars, you guys. They're just like the rest of us. Millions of dollars, but they're not going to house any of these illegals. Come on. Oh, why would they use their guest house? Are you crazy? You mean that huge guest house that's probably the size of your normal house that they have next to their pool in their backyard? Yeah, no, oh, come on, please. They're not going to use that to house illegals. Are you crazy? Why would they? Oh, millions that they could put up in hotel rooms and house all these people? Sponsoring them? Are you nuts? Giving their money to these illegals? Oh, come on. They'll be sure as hell to act like Kim Kardashian here, though, and bitch, moan, and complain. Several high-profile celebrities are speaking out against Donald Trump's administration conducting immigration enforcement operations in Los Angeles. Oh, the guy that is the main cop, he's the main law enforcement official of this entire country, people are complaining that the law, see, there's a really important word that comes after that word. Enforcement is carrying that out. They are baffled beyond belief that the guy that was elected as the main law enforcement official of the executive branch. I mean, how many times can you get executive and enforcement in the same sentence for them to comprehend that that's his job, you idiots? It's like when somebody gets pulled over. Oh, how could you pull me over for speeding? I was doing 120. What's the big deal? How could you do your job? Freaking idiots. Leftist actor Mark Ruffalo vented his feelings on Instagram, calling American an oligarchy. Oh, why don't you talk to Bernie Sanders, AOC? By the way, he's part of that oligarchy. Mark is. You want to get rid of people who are picking your food. That's a little racist. Why would you think that they're the ones just picking our food? Without a care in the world for who is poisoning your bodies with chemicals that aren't meant to be in nature. You want to drive out those who make your life easier, but do not question those who dull your minds with lies and disinformation meant to confuse you and destroy brotherly and sisterly love for us. Mark, I think it's highly beneficial if you take those millions of dollars you made on your dog shit performance of being the Hulk and go apply it to buying a mirror. And then while you're sitting there writing this, just take a moment and just look at yourself. Just look at yourself, Mark. Just right there. Just look in the mirror and say, what happened? Where did my brain go? And then I want you to start looking around because you might find it. If you start looking around your apartment or your huge mansion, just see if you could find it. You might have kicked it under the bed or something. You are pointing your guns in the wrong direction. I don't think so. I think you should point a gun that's at a guy that's or gal that's coming at you, trying to harm you with a knife, with the gun themselves. A few people were apprehended with firearms, by the way. Illegal immigrants too. I was told that there's no illegal immigrants protesting. That's what I was told. But yet it's weird because there's video of these illegals getting arrested, but there's also news articles that's attributed to that very video of the actual like headshot of the person and the firearm with them and what crime they were committing. It's a remarkable thing. 30 seconds on the internet. They can't do 30 seconds. They're so lazy. The Democrats are so lazy that they can't, like this guy here. They're so lazy because they can't get a job that they can't actually go on the internet and just look this stuff up themselves. So it's peaceful. There's no illegals protesting. No crimes are being committed. No police officers being assaulted. You never saw a car on fire. You never saw a building on fire. You never saw buildings being looted. You never saw any of that stuff. And if you did, whose fault is it? Trump's fault. It's all Trump's fault. So you're pointing your guns at the wrong direction. Can't you see that maybe we are being tricked to tear each other apart while they rake it in? No. I don't mind how much somebody else makes. It's not my life. It's not my business. They want to make a ton of money. They make a ton of money. It's weird how he's worried about people raking it in. All of a sudden, really worried about people raking in the money. Well, Mark, you're not exactly worried about you raking in the money. Furthermore, Mark, I don't see you sponsoring any of these illegals. I don't see you housing any of them. And furthermore, I didn't see you moaning and complaining about the cartels making billions of dollars and raking it in through smuggling, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, selling children off into forced labor. Yes, children. I didn't see any of that, Mark. That's really weird. All of a sudden, when Trump's in office, you care so much about this, don't you? Don't you? You didn't care when Joey created multi-billion-dollar industries, did you? He was raking it in from China, Romania, and Ukraine. Remember when we did an hour-long episode of me uncovering and unraveling the whole Burisma Holdings scandal? And I showed you checks that were written from China to James Biden, Joe Biden's brother, and it just miraculously ended up inside Joe Biden's bank account. It's weird how all that money funnels and trickles everywhere, huh? But don't worry. Oh, raking it in. Ruffalo also came down hard on Trump, saying the president prioritizes maintaining all his wealth. Gotcha, while people suffer. This is why I said, Mark, donate all your money. You're a millionaire, Mark. You got a nice house. Oh, you're Marvel. You're Hulk. Yeah. Doesn't want to give any, he doesn't want to do anything. He's not maintaining. Is he maintaining his wealth, you guys? Is he still on contract with Marvel? Is he still doing movies? He should just give it all away. Oh, there's people suffering. Yeah, people are suffering, Mark. Give all your money away. He won't do it. The billionaire up at the top is stealing you blind, and you are worried about the poorest of the poor ruining your life. The president is a grifter. Yes, actually, I am worried about them ruining my life because, Mark, these people are raping, murdering our children, our wives, our girlfriends, women out there in the streets. They're doing it. How many times has Caroline Leavitt stood on that podium of the White House press briefings and showed us a series of photos? Child rape, child rape, child rape, child rape, child rape on almost every single one of them. But don't worry, you guys. Oh, they're the poorest of the poor. They're not going to ruin your life or your family. Yeah, you know what? I don't even want that to be a chance, Mark. How about that? I don't want that to be a chance at all. See, there should be a 0 probability chance of an illegal hurting somebody I know or somebody I don't know. It doesn't matter who you are. 0% chance of taking place because they should have never been here in the first place. And when something should have never been, that is a 0% chance of taking place by said thing that should have never been. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be stopping the RAPE because an American psycho could be doing it too. It's evil regardless of whoever does it. But don't tell me that these people aren't ruining other people's lives, taking their jobs, competing with them in the marketplace, taking our money, kicking veterans out of... Here's one for you. Here's one that's going to piss a lot of you off because I know a lot of you like the veterans. Remember how New York Mayor Eric Adams was kicking out veterans out of hotel rooms and replacing them with Afghan refugees and Iraqi refugees. And I built a case for you. You quite possibly could have had a guy that fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, fought against people like Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, could very well have been kicked out of a hotel room and replaced with those people. Now, you might say, Brad, but a Taliban and Al-Qaeda would never be allowed to be in this country. Really? You want to tell that to Legend, who just did a video with Sean Ryan? Do you want to tell the CIA terrorist tracker, Sarah Adams, codenamed Superbad, on how these terrorists are getting passports with different identification and they look basically legit, a whole nother identity? You want to tell them that and they're coming here in the United States? Now, has it happened? I just built the case for it. Doesn't mean it did, but it's possible. Well, why bring it up at all then? Because if it's possible and the thing shouldn't have been possible in the first place, I'm going to bring it up because your ideology of the left is creating that possibility that should have never been there. And you see how you got to like weave and navigate? Brad Vince just started streaming, and although we are here, his video title is "What Are They Trying to Distract Us From?" I thought that's pretty good, interesting thought. Yeah. Well, a lot of people think it's distracting us from what's going on in the Middle East, distracting us from what's going on with Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I mean, nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. And we covered something similar yesterday. Like, well, what's the true intention here? Truthfully, the true intention is that they want to destroy this country from the inside out. We don't need an hour-long episode on it. The Skims founder also discussed how deeply immigrants are woven into the fabric of the city. They are our neighbors, friends, classmates, coworkers, and family, Kardashian wrote. No matter where you fall politically, it's clear that our communities thrive because of the contributions of immigrants. There's the conflation. Now you're conflating the two. Yep. There's no difference between legal and illegal. They can't do it. There has to be a better way. There is. For Tom Homan to deport more and quicker. Kardashian also shared a video of rapper, who is that? Doechii? Condemning the raids during her BET Awards acceptance speech on Monday night. Quote, there are ruthless attacks that are creating fear and chaos in our communities. You know she's talking about the rioters, right? Wrong! In the name of law and order. Trump is using military forces to stop a protest. I was told the military's not doing anything. That's what I was told. I want you all to consider what kind of government it appears to be when every time we exercise our democratic right to protest, the military is deployed against us. What type of government is that? Well, it's a government that was put in place and elected by the people to protect citizens, both foreign, abroad, and domestic. But because you have these idiots that become millionaires because they could sing a song, that's air quotes, mostly it's the computer doing it. Let's be fair here. It's auto-tune. And you make millions of dollars, which tells us how great this country is. These same people that are the BET Awards are going to tell us how racist this country is, but yet they have their own BET Awards and they're making millions off the backs of people that are allegedly racist, I guess. I don't know how that one works out. And somehow they beat systemic racism out. Yeah, they're going to tell us that, what type of government is this? Well, what type of person goes and beats the crap out of a police officer? What type of person rapes young women? Can we talk about that? Because because we're not allowed to talk about it. That's the thing. We're not allowed to talk about it with these lefties. Frustrating. Frustrating. Now, they're also saying that the White House is sending all these illegals to Gitmo. All these people that are being rounded up are being sent to Gitmo. Oh, really? Are they really? Well, White House is saying they're not sending illegals to Gitmo. 100% fake news. The White House roundly rejected a Wednesday morning report from the Washington Post claiming that the president and his administration was planning to send a number of illegal aliens to the infamous prison of Guantanamo Bay Naval Base in Cuba. I got no qualms with that. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt referred to a report which cited unnamed U.S. officials familiar with the matter as fake news and declared that it was not happening. What's wrong with Look, there's housing in Guantanamo Bay. I was told we should be allowed to house these people and feed them. So we're giving them a house. We're giving them food. We're giving them shelter and water and clothing. What's the problem? I was told by Bernie Sanders that Cuba's great. There was an illegal immigrant that we just covered yesterday that said socialism, the Soviet Union socialism was great. Like at the peak of it with Lenin. This is peak. This is where they wanted to go. I mean, this is the weather's great. You got clean air. You're getting water. So remember, they are coming here, according to Kamala Harris. They're illegally entering the country because of drought and famine. Remember, Kamala Harris flew over the border. She didn't stop at the border. She flew over the border to El Salvador, Honduras, and she was talking to all the presidents there. When she landed, I kid you not, let me see if I can pull it up for you because people don't believe when I say this. She handed out cookies. She handed out sugar cookies with her face on it. Now, I know somebody that makes cookies right now. And I want to know later if they can do a better job than this. Because she passed out these cookies right here. This is a real thing. Now, obviously, there's text over it. Somebody put that over. She passed out these cookies when she flew over the border to a whole nother country for the purposes of figuring out why are millions of people coming here, and then also spewing the message that it wasn't happening, that it was just a situation. It was a challenge. It was under control. Y'all remember that one for 4 freaking years. It's just a situation. It's just a challenge. We'll figure it out. Not a crisis. It was never a crisis, although they let it slip a few times. So she passed out these cookies. Bonkers, man. It drives me up a wall. It really does. So, according to the Washington Post report, the White House is preparing to send thousands of foreigners to the infamous detention facility, including people from Britain, France, and Italy, with no intent to notify their home governments. Citing anonymous officials, it's always anonymous, isn't it? It's always anonymous. It's nobody ever has the balls to come out and say stuff themselves. Thank you so much. Yes. Hey, Patriots, have you clicked the like button today? The thumbs up. It really does support the show. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for everybody that's always helping out. We have the Post claim that officials have insisted on remaining anonymous because the matter is considered highly sensitive, or, they don't want to lose their jobs because there's too much of pussies. I've always said everything that I say on here, I can lose my job over. You'll know if I ever lose my job because I'm going to be like, we're doing donations every day. And it seems like I'm joking. I've said this time and time again because I live in California. California. I can lose my job for saying, hey, I don't want criminals that came here illegally. I don't want them here, especially if they're the ones that are murdering people, raping people, killing people. I want those people deported. You can lose your job in the state of California for saying something that's so obvious. Or, hey, I don't want any of these protesters, for those on audio, that was for air quotes, these protesters. I don't want them to be roaming the streets because if they're violently attacking police officers, can you imagine what they're willing to do to somebody that's not a police officer? If they're looting stores, burning down vehicles and other stuff, public and private property, yeah, I want that person arrested. In the state of California, you can lose your job over it. If I said, hey, I want illegals deported, especially the criminals, you can lose your job. I will let you know if I ever lose my job for saying the obvious, because I'm going to freaking have the gold donation tab every day that we do a show set. And I'll be out there panhandling. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 help me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's get to more news here. Like I said, if you're having a good time, hit that like button. Not passing big, beautiful bill would be cataclysmic, Treasury Secretary warns. I don't know about cataclysmic, but damn, you're going to feel it. As somebody that was an accountant, I almost said is accountant. I kind of still do accounting, but was an accountant. Yes, you're going to feel it. You'll probably, I mean, depending, right? Everyone's taxes is different, but I spitballing a couple thousand. Probably you'll end up increasing your taxes by. Treasury, some people will be like 4,500. It really depends. I mean, we're going back. Remember, this would set you back to pre-Trump tax cuts, you guys. So this is like pre-2016 stuff. All those nice credits that you were getting for your child and everything, gone. Now, I think it goes back to like 250, 500 maybe. I can't remember. I think it actually goes back. It switches to now standard deduction and personal exemption, I think would go back to. Now, that goes over some of your heads. When Trump implemented his tax cuts, he basically moved that personal exemption and put it inside that standard deduction. Because depending on how you would file, that personal exemption may go to somebody else, depending on what your filing status is. Now, that's going way far. We don't need to even go into that because that's what all these other people do, right? These Republicans, conservatives. Well, if you really break down the old Trump tax cuts, what you're going to see is on this line item, there is a $3,700 personal exemption that you can claim for yourself. But depending on the dependency of you yourself, if somebody else is claiming you, that personal exemption is going to roll over from that 1040 into their 1040, and they get to claim it. All the while, you are going to have your standard deduction, and through that standard deduction, that's going to lower your taxable income. And when that can lower your taxable income, what that might do is actually drop you into a lower tax bracket. Oh, did I mention that if we go to Trump's pre-tax cuts, we're going to go back to the old tax brackets. And those old tax brackets are going to end up costing you about 3 to 4% more on average on your taxes. And they start drooling, right? Because they have, and then the philosophy of that really is, it wasn't really the founders that wanted to implement the taxation with no representation. It really was the American people. And if we go back to the original revolution and you really break all this down, should the revolution have ever started? I think there's a case to be made that because the Americans were benefiting from said thing, from the French and Indian War, the 7 Years War, that the Americans should have paid those taxes. And because they should have paid those taxes, they should have never revolted. You should have never had the Boston Tea Party. You see how they do all this? By the way, everything I said was true. Just want to let you know, everything that seemed like I was just bullshit pulling out of my pants was true. But it's, God, isn't it a snoozer? Wow. We feel, and then we're all going to go, we're going to leave the episode and we're going to go back to work or wipe our kids' asses and go, don't remember a damn thing that guy just said. Don't give a shit. All I want to know is if I'm going to owe more money or I'm going to get more money back. Like, which one is it? Nobody gives a flying fuck about the tax brackets, the workings of them. Am I going to owe more money or am I not? You're going to owe more money. And that's how we do it on the Bald Brad Show. We don't need to break down this shit. Well, if you really break down the tax code, you're going to see that those brackets are going to really be readjusted to pre-2016 times. Who gives a flying fuck? You're going to owe more money. You're going to get reamed is what's going to happen. There you go. There's your analysis for you. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? You don't have to do anything. You're just going to owe more money. So when did I even start this article yet? Shit. Yeah, I don't want to owe more money either, but you're going to, most likely. Brad, I have to worry about the tax brackets. Well, yeah, be fair, so do I. I'm not going to say why, but I gotta worry about those tax brackets too. I'm not talking about for myself. Bezos remarks came in response to a question from House Ways and Means Subcommittee on Tax Chairman Mike Kelly. So let's check this clip out.
What we call in economics a sudden stop. It would be cataclysmic. It would be the largest tax hike in history. It would be a disaster for businesses, for working Americans, and for our status in the world. That To have this happen, we would see increases in taxes on thousands of dollars of working Americans. We would see business contract, and we would see a substantial increase in the unemployment rate. It is.
He's not wrong. Hey, can I show you guys something really quick? I want to give a shout out to you guys here. This is our show. Oops, my big head's in the way. Our show's right here. Look where we are at compared to everybody else. Corporation, 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 corporation. Like, corporation. Yo, we are right here. And, you know, I don't want to say it's 50 views is good. It's good. But we're up there with all the live streaming. I got to say, and like another big, like all these people, folks, I can't emphasize enough. These people have backing of tons of money from these huge wealthy donors. I've never had a single wealthy donor, as far as I'm aware. If somebody's wealthy, then let me know because I would love your money. But shout out to you guys for making all this possible, where we're constantly up there as one of the top shows on Rumble. Like constantly. Now, some of these shows, I wonder, like, how do you have so many views? It's a snoozer of a show. I don't want to hound them, but our show's better. Our community's better. Our show is better. Our platform is better. Everything is better than a lot of these shows. But, you know, when you get that recognition, you know, people end up going. People end up going where the recognition is. Hey, our show's just better, though. So that's all I could say. That's all I can say. So this will be detrimental, you guys. And like I potential of the bill, which extends to 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, argue that killing it threatens the national economy. I don't know about that. People always adjust. People make things work, but you would feel it at the end. You would feel it for sure. Again, the simplified form is Trump with those 2017 tax cuts saved you about 3%. There's a restructuring of brackets and everything. So you're going to end up owing more money, most likely. Most likely. Oh, Tyler, happy birthday. He said it's my birthday today. Well, Tyler, how old are you turning? We would love to give you a shout out. So everybody say happy birthday to Tyler. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Happy birthday. That's pretty cool. Turning 21? Is it 21 again? That's awesome. All right, here we go. We got to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday. Anybody ever seen that Wayne's World clip? Hold on a second. Let me get it for you. I want to pull it up. Wayne's World. This is how, Tyler, I want to sing happy birthday to you, okay?
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
There's your birthday video, my dude. Oh my God, that was great. Isn't that a good movie? Back when movies were good, back when you couldn't offend anybody. Now you do that same exact clip nowadays, and the progressives get all upset because they can. It's too visually looks like them, right? Wearing women's underwear. We should just call it cross-dressing. Oh, there you go. Turning 30 years old, the big 30. Hell yeah. Don't have your midlife crisis just yet. That happens at what, 40, 50? Pat, when does that happen again? Just kidding. All righty, moving on. House approves first round of Trump's budget cuts. Just yesterday, the House of Representatives voted 213 to 207 to advance a portion of President Trump's proposed budget cuts, targeting $9.3 billion. This includes significant reductions for USAID, NPR, PBS, aiming to eliminate the what some legislators describe as wasteful spending on propaganda. Critics argue these cuts could undermine public media and services. I don't care. I don't give a flying F that if it undermines public media and services. They're all propagandists. That's why everybody's going to podcasts. That's why everybody's trying to find people like the Bald Brad Show that aren't beholden to these corporations that are telling them what to say in their fucking ear. It drives me up a wall because some people believe in all these podcast guys. It's like, you think they're saying whatever they want? I mean, at least I'm open with you going, yeah, I could lose my job. Yep, for saying this, I can lose my job. And I'm not calling for it. I'm not egging on people I'm not egging on employers to fire me. That's not what I'm egging on here. I just find it mind-blowing that you could threaten to be losing your job over saying something so obvious. Yeah, I don't like criminals. Yeah, I don't want illegal aliens hurting my kids. Well, I don't have kids, but hurting kids, hurting anybody. Why is that even a problem saying that? I don't understand it. Can somebody explain that to me, please? Yeah, I don't want to allow mass homeless to take place because these people have mental problems and we got to get them off the street so they don't harm somebody. Oh, they would never do such a thing. Really? Why is it article after article after article, and I've seen it with my own fucking eyes, them doing shit. But then you're going to tell how it doesn't happen. Give me a freaking break. Give me a break. Well, the National Park Service is renovating looks like the Jefferson Monument. Let's see what they're doing here. The National Park Service is nearing completion of a renovation of the Jefferson Memorial that turns the site into a condemning portrayal of the president's legacy. Oh, here we go. Here we're back with this again. Yep. The project aims to completely renovate the basement exhibit level of the memorial to provide more perspective as it shares Thomas Jefferson's multifaceted story. Do you think they're going to have to throw in how he was a slaveholder and hooked up with a slave allegedly and had a kid? You think, and just completely try to tarnish his image? Do you think that might be in there? Depends who's doing it. Depends who's doing the stuff. NPS signage at the memorial describes the upcoming exhibits according to the City Journal. Quote, the memorial's designers sought to convey their mid-1900s version of U.S. democracy, it said. Oh, okay. Everybody has to have a vision. Thomas Jefferson became the face of that endeavor. In crafting this image, they selected specific materials, details, and excerpts from his writings. Studying these choices reveals their motives. Now, I could be wrong here. Maybe they just went super pro on Thomas Jefferson, the guy that, helped craft this country. But instead of informing visitors about Jefferson's life, the exhibits will undermine Jefferson's legacy. Well, how are they going to do that? What do you mean they went out of their way to destroy this guy's image? Oh, okay, let's see. That's typical of the left to do, right? It's all about destroying somebody's image. We're all sinners. We've all screwed up in the past. Probably right now, some of us are screwing up. It always happens. Life goes on. He was a great man. He did some wrong things. Holding slaves isn't exactly a good thing to do. But I built the case in my book. Let's plug it. Let's plug it. When I was writing the chapter, I built the case and I kind of explained why you probably had hypocrisy from the founding fathers of, hey, they wanted to abolish slavery, but they still had slavery. They still held slaves, even though they wanted to abolish it. There's a lot of things, and I'm not going to rehash a whole Bible study with you and talk about sin. There's a phrase in scripture, and I think it's in Timothy. I could be wrong. And I think it might have been somebody, I can't remember. But I do the things I don't want to do is the quote. I do things I don't want to do. There's a lot of things that we do as sinners that we don't want to do. Welcome to life. And by the way, I built the case as to why they were so struggling to get rid of slaves in the first place. So check out the book. Get on. All the links are in the description. Really good book. You're going to love it. And also, it's a great gift idea. And then you can say, hey, I know this guy, the podcaster guy. I know him. I know this guy. I watch him every day. It's a good book. So Park Service spokesman Mike Litterist, it don't matter, said in 2021 that the new exhibits will certainly take a look at the paradox of the author of the lines. Oh, here we go. You just know it. All men are created equal. But did he mean it? That's what did he mean it? How could you mean it if you own slaves? There it is. And the freaking the same sentence, the next word, who owned more than 600 slaves in his life. Did he mean it? That hypocrite, you bigot, and spit on you. Yep, here we go. Taking your hard-earned money and just completely destroying a guy. The guy that helped create the best country in human existence, human civilization, the guy helped create it, and you got to shit on him. And this is exactly what the left does. I'm telling you, they want to destroy this country. And they will do so by revising everything that's been said before and spinning it and crafting a narrative of how evil this place is. The renovation is funded in part by a $10 million donation from David Rubenstein, the MPS press release. Rubenstein previously funded exhibits about slavery. The home of James Madison. Yep. So you think this guy has a little bit of an initiative here to tarnish all these great men? In 2019, Rubenstein said he donated to the project so when people go, they can actually learn about Jefferson. Oh, gotcha. That's what it's about. Yeah. It's about learning about Jefferson. Yeah. It's not about tarnishing his image and, we got to definitely emphasize on every wall that he was a slaveholder and all this stuff about him. Okay. What does Rubenstein want people to learn about Jefferson exactly? Well, let's find out. In a piece announcing Rubenstein's donation, the Smithsonian Magazine called Jefferson a man of huge contradictions. Oh, did I not say they were going to mention hypocrisy? Now they use the words contradiction. Might as well say the same thing. The memorial renovation will focus on reinterpreting Jefferson. Oh, yeah, they're visionaries. It's always the same people, man. It drives me up a wall. Particularly in light of allegations that Jefferson had four illegitimate children with Sally Hemings, one of his slaves. Gotcha. Did I not call this? Did I not say this was going to happen when I fucking read the title? I was all the way up here and I was like, oh, here we go. I just know I could be wrong. Doesn't happen too often that I am, but I could. The magazine ignored a scholarly commission that found that the allegation is by no means proven. After examining available DNA evidence, the magazine ignored a scholarly commission that found that the allegation and by no means is proven. But remember, I want them to learn about the history of who Jefferson was and is. History is fact, by the way, but I want them to learn about who this guy is. There's no proven evidence that the guy ever hooked up with the chick, the slave, and had 4 children, but we're going to make sure that you learn about Jefferson and it's going to be truthful. The old museum focused on Jefferson's own words, life, and ideas. City Journal said while the memorial above tried to present Jefferson in line with the New Deal policies of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who dedicated it in 1943, the museum below showcased Jefferson's commitment to limited government and local control. Isn't that, there you go. You talk about where was it? Contradictions. Where is it? Huge contradictions. Isn't it a little bit of a contradiction that you're going to talk about FDR New Deal policies when Jefferson wanted limited government and local control? And there's a huge argument to be had that FDR was the one that bloated government with all these entitlement programs that are just fucking reaming us in the ass right now, budget-wise. All his initiatives that he came up with are the ones that are blowing out the budget. Why are we being forced to pay into Social Security? I don't know. It's my money. Why should I be told what to do with it? If I don't want to pay into Social Security, I shouldn't have to. And then it's an agreement. I become old if I make it that long in life, and then I don't get that payout. Folks, you can get a lot more ROI. You get a rate of return on your investment if you were to just put it in the market than you would ever with Social Security. It's a freaking scam. It's a total scam. And by the way, I think that if it's so you put all, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm not a big fan of Social Security, if you could tell. I should be able to elect if I want to put money into something like Social Security. Because if you're going to tell me that I put in all this money and that I'm not even get the full benefit of it later on, and I'm supposed to be happy that I just get 70 or 80% because you nut jobs out there in government decided to not figure this whole thing out correctly, that's a problem. I'm not kidding. Democrats are all happy about, well, at least you get 70% of what you put in. Well, where's the fucking other 30? Where's the 30% that you stole? Yeah, you stole it, because if I gave it expecting to get it at some point in the future, where is it? You stole it, is what you did. And that's probably most likely what's going to happen, because it's going to go insolvent. We'll still have money. You're just not going to get all of it. You're supposed to be happy about that. Well, at least you're getting some of it. Oh, goody. Oh, wow. Yes, sir. May I have another then? Yeah, just spank me in the ass. Oh, perfect. Now, that didn't really make any sense, spank me in the ass, but it sounded good when it was coming out, or at least when I was thinking about it. When it was coming out, it actually didn't really sound that great. But, you know, you shoot from the hip. Not everything lands, you guys. You got to shoot from the hip. You got to try. Just riffing. Plans for the renovation of the Jefferson Memorial begin in 2017. Kate Greenberg, then vice president of the marketing communications for the trust at the National Mall, said the renovation would include the most inclusive. Oh, you just know the type of person she is, don't you? Whenever they use that word inclusive. Oh, it's going to be so inclusive and accurate. It's, oh, fuck, there's no way. There's no way she said that. Most inclusive and accurate information. Just, I'm going to go up one paragraph, okay? Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, we'll say 3 paragraphs. No, it was about 2. The magazine ignored a scholarly commission that found that the allegation is by no means proven after examining available DNA evidence. Oh. But remember, we're going to make sure it will include the most inclusive and accurate information. Gotcha. Man, it's been a while since we broke down an article like this. We used to do this all the time years ago, and I love it. I love it. The renovation is continuing despite an executive order from President Donald Trump that aims to purge anti-American ideology. Correct. Museums in our nation's capital should be places where individuals go to learn, not to be subjected to ideology, indoctrination, or divisive narratives that distort or our shared history. Correct. But that's what they do in the education system. That's what your kids are learning. That's why I think it's so important that you make sure you get your kids reading actual history. This book here, it's a great book. It's a phenomenal book. It's a book that's not going to lie to your children. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you want a really good history book, it's a thick boy. That's what they call me. It's called A Patriot's History. It's right here. This book here, and I'll give you guys the link. I have this book, and this is a book that helped me actually write. If you read my indexes, you will see this book on screen. I pulled a lot of information from this book here. And it's really, really good. So I'm going to throw that to you guys. So if you want a good history book, and I'll put it in Rumble for you, you can buy it. I don't get commission on this. It's just a book that is great. So buy it. It's a must read. It's a thick boy though. Like I said, 1,000 pages, 1,000-page history book, but you're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to really like it. All right. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Okay. So, we all watch the Oscars, right? Well, not really. Maybe not so much anymore, but we used to when it was nice, when they didn't inject politics and everything. Well, Amelia Perez, the actress, insists her Oscar statue is trans. Uses they, them pronouns. Oh, so Oscar is now trans. Oscar, I believe this Oscar itself was created from a man. Now, we're going to find out if I'm right or wrong. Mind you, I actually held one of these before. They're freaking actually pretty heavy. I got to hold one. There's a picture of me holding one of them. And I used to work under a guy that won one of these. Because I told you, I have no reason to lie. I used to work up in LA, and I worked at a special effects place where you work on movies, you blow stuff up. Like the time when I was there, like this tells you how long ago it was. You see that movie Valkyrie with Tom Cruise? We built all the explosive stuff for that Wolf's Lair table, the table that Hitler was behind when they tried to assassinate him, and it blew up, and the table actually saved his life. We built a 1-to-1 scale of that table. So I got to see what that table, we helped put it together and everything, and build it. I got to see what the actual table would have looked like in real life. So that was pretty cool. Actress Zoe Saldana claims the Golden Oscar statue she won for Best Supporting Actress in the musical for Amelia Perez is gender fluid. Oh. We have it in my office, and my Oscar is gender fluid, the 47-year-old celeb told People during a red carpet premiere. Oh, okay. Saldana added that the statue is trans and goes by they, them pronouns. Oh, really? When did that happen? Amelia Perez racked up 13 Academy Award nominations this year, but wound up only winning 2. The film was a frontrunner early on, but was plagued by controversy, including some controversial tweets that resurfaced from the film's Best Actress nominee. Gotcha. Okay. Well, Saldana won Best Supporting Actress for her portrayal of some lawyer who helps a Mexican drug cartel kingpin undergo so-called gender-affirming surgery. Now, I'm a part of the Screen Actors Guild. So there's 3 really big, well, for film and TV, there's 3 really big awards, and I'm a part of one of them. There's the SAG Awards, which is the Screen Actors Guild. I'm a member of that guild because I did acting. Then there's the Golden Globes, which we can probably, so there's probably really 2. And then there's the Oscars. You can get an idea who's going to win the Oscars based on the SAG Awards, most likely. Because a lot of people in SAG are also in the, a lot of people that are in the Oscars, the Screen Actor, a lot of people that are in the guild for the Oscars are also in, even though Oscars not a guild, but I think I have that right, but are in the Screen Actors Guild. So what we do is we get all the DVDs, they send it to your house, and then you also get a voting thing, even though you can do it online now, and you can vote for it. Like the last time I voted was for The Whale. I voted for Brendan Fraser because I didn't like the way Hollywood treated him, and he is a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors. So I voted for Brendan Fraser, and then he ended up winning the Oscar as well. So the point I'm bringing that up is you get these weird ass movies that are winning stuff, and it's like the movie sucks. The movie's dog shit. You just push through some bullshit initiative that we don't even want to hear about, and you're cramming it down. Like, can I just read this again for you, please? And just how outlandish it is. Remember when we used to go to Blockbuster and you flip to the back of the DVD and it reads this. The movie is the portrayal of Rita Mora Castro, a lawyer. Sorry, let's do it as a movie voice. Let's do this like the old school 90s. One woman, one man, a lawyer who helps a Mexican drug cartel kingpin undergoes so-called gender-affirming surgery out this summer. Wow, Mommy, I want to go wait in line for that one. That sounds real. Michelle with the $5, shout out to you. When Betty Davis received her Emmy, she said it reminded her of her ex-husband, Oscar. The nickname stuck. Thank you. I could have swore that it was a man. Yes. During her BAFTA acceptance speech. I don't need to go. Okay. All right. Okay. Can we just look at the Oscar really quick itself? Does that look like a woman to you? That Oscar, does it look? There's no boobs. It can't be a woman. I'm sorry. It's not. Does anybody know a woman in their entire life that was named Oscar? Here you go. Angel. The Academy Award statue, officially named the Academy Award of Merit, is known by its nickname, Oscar. While the exact origins are debated, a popular story credits the Academy librarian. So you tell me the librarian was a woman? I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. Margaret Herrick was initially... no way in hell. Oh, yeah. Reminded her of her uncle Oscar. Okay, so it has to be a guy. I was like, there's no way in hell this is a woman. Oh, I want to try to get a picture of this. I've held this. I've touched it. I've looked at it. By the way, the guy that I worked for had it in his office. There's no way in hell that's a woman. That's a woman? Really? What are these? What are those biceps and the shoulders and the chiseled jaw and the legs? Look at the calf muscles on this thing. Look at the feet. That's a woman? Really? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I don't give a shit what you guys tell me. I find the lack of boobs disturbing. That ain't, there's nobody in this chat, by the way, is going to convince me at all that this is a woman. Not that you guys would try. I don't give a fuck. That is not a woman. No way in hell. You ain't pulling that one on me. I don't think so. It's a fucking woman named Oscar. Sure it is. What, Oscar Mayer Wiener? Get out of here. What is that crap? Well, Biden's back in the news. Speaking of Oscar Mayer and a wiener, Biden officials to testify about former president's mental fitness. Do we need anybody to testify about this? I mean, look at the photo itself. The guy doesn't know what's going on. Look at him. Like, fuck, I think I just shit my pants. Or he's honing in. I think I smell something. I think I smell something. Joey smells something. That's for sure. Several of former President Joe Biden's White House staffers are poised to testify before the House Oversight Committee in the coming weeks for an investigation into Biden's mental state and whether he authorized the use of auto pen signatures for major executive orders. Doesn't mean anything if the Supreme Court doesn't do anything about it. Former Director of Domestic Policy Council and former assistant to the president and senior advisor to the First Lady have agreed to voluntarily appear for transcribed interviews on June 14th and the 26th. Additionally, the aide said former special assistant to the president and director deputy of Oval Office operations, Ashley Williams, is scheduled to participate in a voluntary transcribed interview on July 11th, and former assistant to the president. Okay. Yeah. House Republicans are looking at efforts to cover up Biden's fitness and potentially unauthorized use of auto pen for official presidential acts. I think they're trying to figure out more so how often this was utilized for auto pen. So I don't think they're going to spend too much time on his mental fitness. Maybe they'll try to find like specific stories and encounters that they may have had with Joe Biden, where he started drooling all over the floor and wiping his ass like a dog on the carpet. You know, maybe they'll get stories like that, but I think it's going to be a nothing burger. I think it's really, really going to be a nothing burger. And this next article is about education. You guys know how I love talking about that. Just always sets me off because it frustrates me when people say that they care about things with their mouth, but they don't do anything about it. You know what I mean? They just turn a blind eye. What's going on, Amy? We have here school districts spent more than $9 million to make grading practices more equitable. There's nothing better than having somebody telling you exactly what's happening in the education system as your podcast host. School districts across the country spent more than $9 million in equity consultants since 2014, with California as the biggest offender. Gee, there's a shock. There's a shock. A total of 39 school districts across 7 states spent over $9 million in consultants for equitable grading in the past 11 years because they think because you are a different colored skin that you're treated differently, and that because you have different colored skin, the system is rigged against you. Remember how they wanted to put in mathematics that if you said that 2 + 2 = 5, you had to accept that as correct. Some of you just go, there's no fucking way that guy just said that. There's no way, Brad, that's true. I'm going to say this again. I teach mathematics. Yeah, people are like, well, I thought you were an accountant. I thought you were a podcast host. I'm all of those. I work 3 jobs. I am busy as shit. 3 jobs. I also referee ice hockey professionally. I do a lot. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is that they were trying to implement in the education system, and I would know because I teach AP statistics and statistics, I teach mathematics, that if I was to tell somebody, like a black kid or a Mexican or a Hispanic, or it doesn't matter what country you're from, those are the 2 most obvious ones because I'm in California, that if they gave me the answer, anything other than 4, if I said, okay, Billy, what's 2 + 2? And they said, it's 6, Mr. Roberts. Very good. The answer is correct. That's what and if I didn't, I am racist. I am not pulling one on you. I'm as serious as a heart attack, you guys. Please. If I said you are wrong, that the answer is 4, I am deemed a racist. Yes, Danielle has it correctly. They said 2 + 2 = 4 is racist. Exactly. Why? Oh, well, because this is how fucking stupid these people are. Well, mathematics is built off white supremacy, is what we were told. Now I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. Patriots, take a break real quick. There's another water break. Go fill up that another cup of coffee for yourselves. Maybe get a little bourbon in there, a little Baileys. Hey, leftists, you dumb fucks. Algebra came from the Middle East. It's thousands of years old. So some of you are going to feel a hit here because you're going to feel like I'm slapping you. Please don't feel like that's what's happening. If you can't figure out algebra that's fucking thousands of years old, of which they learned with sand, stone and sand, if you can't figure out how to do the workings of algebra that people thousands of years ago were able to figure out, you got something fucking wrong with you. I don't want to hear that shit that somebody that only had stone and chisels and a stick to do shit in sand with was able to figure out algebra, and you can't figure it out with a fucking calculator. You got a problem. Hey, somebody has to tell you that. Somebody has to tell you that. That doesn't mean you're stupid. That doesn't mean you're retarded. Maybe you just didn't put enough time into it. And that's a fair criticism to have. You just didn't put in enough time. Oh, somebody didn't teach me. Okay, whatever. People taught you. You just didn't want to listen. Give me a break. But it's racist now. It's racist. So I guess Iraqis were racist, or whoever the hell was in the Middle East when teaching it back in the day was racist. Oh yeah. Bunch of nut jobs. So they're spending a bunch of money on this stuff for equity. Now, what is equity? Equity-based baiting, I can't even say it correctly, grading, is basically crafted so that the bottom people are elevated to where the top people are at. Because not everybody has life equally as a standard of what resources they're being offered. Which is stupid. So basically, if there's any disparity in grading, which welcome to the real world, there's fucking disparities everywhere. The way God created things, there's disparities. Yeah, I'm pissed. Because I've always said the logic does not run, it's not linear. With that logic, God himself would be racist. There's a disparity. There's more tornadoes in certain parts of America than there are other parts. Well, that's not fair. Why are those people getting hounded, but those people aren't over there? God's racist. Oh, there's more black people, minorities in this part of the country that are being hounded with this set of weather pattern versus the white people that are in this part of the country. They're not getting that weather pattern. God's a racist. Because there's a disparity in data because people are different. You could actually, I did my own little study. Years ago, I had two identical twins in the same class, the same math teacher, the same exact resources, living in the same household, had the same exact education, the same environment, the same milieu, the same everything. One got an A, one got a C. And I always drop it down a grade letter. You don't really get an A. You most likely got a B, and that person got a D or an F. If you get a C in the grade book, I think all parents need to hear this. If your kid got a C in the grade book, do not be excited about that. I'm going to help you right now. Do not be excited if your kid got a C. That C could be a D or an F for all you know. The teacher hooked you up because of equity. Because at the end of the day, that administration is going to walk to your kid's teacher, and they're not going to ask what the kid's going to do about it. That's not how it works. I've never had a student, and I've asked them, that's how I know this. I've never seen a student out of thousands that I've taught ever had an administrator walk up to them and say, what are you going to do about your grade? How are you going to do it? How are you going to fix it? Is it even possible for you to fix it? Or are you too deep in the hole? You're just going to fail. No. Guess what they do? They go to the teacher. Hey, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to fix the person's grade? Not the guy that's fucking actually getting the grade and doing the work. How are you going to fix it? So let me show you how this is going to work. And I'm being as dead serious. If I had to explain this to anybody, this is what's going to happen. I'm your guys' student individually. And at hand to God, this is the most accurate portrayal I could possibly give you as what's going on in the education system. You guys teach me, said something, doesn't matter. Maybe Dizzy's teaching me guitar. Maybe Jeff's teaching me taxes. Maybe Pat's teaching me how to do a stick shift for a truck. Maybe Q's teaching me paralegal. Lulu's teaching me how to bake. Fuck, I don't know. Anything. You show me everything. And you say, Brad, go home and practice this. I'm going to assess you later on. So not only did you show me in the classroom, but fuck, you said, hey, Brad, you can come in before lessons and receive extra help free of charge. You can ask me as many questions as you want during the lesson, free of charge. You can ask me questions after the lesson itself, free of charge. You can come into a specific designated office hour and ask me questions, free of fucking charge. You can watch all my videos online and learn how to do this again, just from me, free of charge. You can use the entire fucking internet to learn whatever you want, free of charge. You can use artificial intelligence to answer any of your questions, pretty much free of charge. And if you were charged for it and you don't have internet, you could go to the library and learn it there too. So I come back. You spend all those resources, all that time to help me. And I come back and I fail your test. And I'm failing your class. You did everything. Oh, you did everything. And I'm failing your class. And then your boss comes walking in, da la 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 la, and bypasses the kid. Hey, Lulu, Pat, Jeff, Dizzy, Karen, Bets, Q, all you in the chat, Angel, what are you going to do about it? Oh, what are you guys going to do about it? How are you going to help Brad increase his grade? What are you going to do? He failed this. It's your fault. He failed it. What are you going to do? Give him more homework? That doesn't help his grade. He failed a test. You can't give him a new test. What are you going to do? It's your fault. It's your fault. Exactly. That is 100% what the education system is like. It's put on the burden of the teacher and not on the fucking kids. Ask any teacher. That's what they will be told. Yeah, what are we going to do about it? Not what the kid's going to do about it. Such a fucking joke. The whole education system, the whole public education system is such a joke. There are serious concerns about consistency in K through 12 grading practices, and unfortunately, equitable grading is the latest feel-good education fad to gain traction. Yeah, because you have all these leftist libtards that run the show. The grading philosophy reflects far-left ideological biases while discriminating against merit-based behaviors that are proven to lead to success. Correct. It's always trying to bring up the bottom. You have to let people fail. You have to. What they're calling it now is snowplow parents, where before, so what would happen before, right? When we all grew up and we were actually treated like human beings, you'd fail the class and have to retake it. So there it is. There's Sean that's been in math for 3 years. He's a senior. He's 25 years old, still hasn't graduated high school, and he looks like a dumb shit because the guy can't figure it out, right? We all seen that guy before. And you're like, oh, fuck, dude, that guy's still here? Wow, what a loser, right? And you see him years later, he's working at McDonald's, bagging fries. At least he has a job. You got to give him credit where credit's due. At least it's a job. No job's beneath me. I'll work at McDonald's. I don't give a shit. The point I'm trying to make is that's how it used to be. You used to get held back and you just redo the same class over and over again with the rest of the lower grade levels out of embarrassment, and maybe you'll figure it out. Maybe you'll wake up at some point. Or you don't and you graduate and you figure it out later on and you'll be fine. Then what they did was they had parents start calling the school and complaining. Why is my kid failing? He said he's not learning anything. When did we start trusting our kids out of everything they say? Believe all women. How many times have you caught your kid in a lie and all of a sudden they're going to start telling you the truth about said teacher? Oh, they're not teaching me anything. So then the parent starts complaining and solving the kid's obstacles and problems for them. Not having the kid go figure it out themselves and solve their own problems at school, which is a great way to educate your kid because you're the number one educator as the parent, not me, not some rando that's going to be with your kid 1 year for 180 days. Not me. I don't want to raise your kid. If I wanted to raise a kid, I'd have a kid. I'm there to teach them the subject, not raise them. They need to go speak on their own behalf, not have the parent do it for them. Well, what happens now is they're called snowplow parents, whereas they're not even allowing the kids to reach that obstacle in the first place, is they are jumping in front of it and paving the way for the kid so that the surface is flat. So there is no obstacle. The kid doesn't actually have to overcome anything. So that's what they're doing now, is they're bothering the teachers before the kid even ever encounters some obstacle in the test, whatever it may be. So it's the parents solving the kids' problems. And that's why you come out with these kids, these fucking people like this, these psychos. Because it's been going on for decades. This isn't a new thing. It's not a new thing. I know it seems cold-hearted and unempathetic, but it's true. Somebody has to say it. It's all true. You can DM me. Comics, DM me on X. Find me on Twitter. Send me it over there. I'll open it. I don't know if I can play it, but I'll look at it. I really need to get a Discord up and running. That way you guys could send me clips. Maybe that's something I'll work on today. I'll see if I can get some people to moderate it for me. But if you guys can, if you're willing to moderate a Discord, let me know. Because I don't want any racist shit being thrown in there and stuff like that. I hate that crap. I'm cussing a lot today. I'm on one. All right, so that's there. I don't need to get into that. I'm just going to lose it more, and it's going to be fun. I want to have fun. I want to laugh. What is this about? Is this going to make me laugh? That ain't going to make me laugh. All right, let me see what you sent me. What did you send me? Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Oops. Can I pop it out? I can't show it because it's going to show my DMs. I don't want to do that. There's people that I talk to that they're not bad people, but I don't want you guys to see some of my conversations. They're not bad conversations. It's just remember I told you I talk to people that are like influencers or like have a ton of followers. Can I do this? I'm gonna be very careful with this. Let me see this real quick. Okay. I'm gonna try this. Hold on a second. Let me try this. All right, here we go. That's Jody
Time
Sweden.
to play the game!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
That's a good cut. That is a really good cut. I appreciate you sending that, man. That's pretty cool. That's funny. Before we end here, let me make sure that there's no breaking news that I'm missing on anything. Things always change rapidly. You know how it works. There was some Indian air crash, unfortunately. That sounds pretty terrible. And let me make sure there's nothing going on with Iran here. Iran's kind of the one that I'm keeping. So here's all the breaking news. I'll just use Fox. ESPN analysts criticize media's alleged mischaracterization of Los Angeles. By the way, that video of that protester getting pushed over, that's Jody Sweden from Full House. My sister went to school with her. She grew up in my neighborhood. Jody Sweden grew up in my neighborhood with me and my sister. The girl from Full House, the middle sister in Full House. Yeah, she went to high school with my sister, and she grew up in our neighborhood. She's right down the street. Yeah, so if you're curious on who I'm talking about here, here we go. Full House. Yeah, so she's in my sister's yearbook. Jody Sweden, this girl. Which is funny because the neighborhood I grew up in is a pretty wealthy neighborhood. I should say, well, it's wealthy now, but when you first got in, it's probably middle class, but it's, real estate's gone through the roof and it's a nice neighborhood now. And, but, yeah, she is hot as fuck. Yeah, she's a rocket. The older version of her is a rocket, not this version. That's weird. But yeah, so anyways, she's the one, and I'll show you the clip. She's the one that's out there protesting again. So it's not the first time she's done it. Jody, Sweeten. So here she is. That's her. She's protesting. She has her hair up in a bun and stuff like that, but she's out there protesting. So she got pushed over. And that's her. That's her again.
Out to cutscene me.
What's up? Hey, man.
Out to cutscene me.
What's up? Hey, man.
Out to cutscene me.
And that's proof. That's her. And here, this is where she got pushed over. On the 101. It's always hard for me. It's easy for me to watch a woman that's ugly protest. It's really hard for me to watch a freaking just a rocket, you know what I mean? Like a 10 out there protesting. It's just like, it's something about like watching pretty girls just acting stupid. It's really hard for me to watch. Susie says, "Ha, LOL, thanks. I envy those who type with both thumbs. My daughter is so fast." Yeah. Learning how to text. Where are we at here on this? Hold on one second. So we're still up there on the charts, you guys. We're I just want to point this out again. We're still one of the top streams on Rumble. This is pretty crazy. And we only have 48 views. I mean, it's not like I should say only. I appreciate everybody that does view, but I mean, some of these people get hundreds of thousands of views and or tens of thousands of views, and we're up there. Can't complain. Hey, speaking of that, is she housing anybody yet? Is Selena Gomez housing anybody yet? Remember that whole, "I'm so sorry I didn't do anything sooner. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I didn't do anything." Are you housing anybody right now, Selena? Is any of your empty houses or apartments, rooms, are they housing anybody? So this was posted yesterday. Oh, she did respond. "You should worry about being passed around by right-wing politicians." So she did respond. She saw it. Are you housing? I want to see this. Hold on a second. I got to see the thread. "Did your people supply those lines on the table?" Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Somebody doing a little sniffy? Have you ever heard of a marble table? Or are you just too gullible? Oh, so she can, well, some of us can't afford marble tables, Selena. Yeah, we don't have enough money because we're working. We're not all given millions of dollars. I'm just looking for any sort of, there's a nice couch there that I guess an illegal could sleep on, but you won't open up your house to that. Of course not. I know a few illegals that were arrested that raped a bunch of people and killed a bunch of people. Selena, will you house those people? Let's see the replies to this. Let's see this. It says, "You're probably not the one to talk about being passed around." Oh, this is good. "Nah, our women aren't gross like you people." Oh, what's the matter? Equally guilty of everything. Interesting. Damn, exactly. Passed around. That's rich from a lefty nounce enabler. Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Taylor Lautner. Oh my God, dude, this is savage. Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, Taylor Lautner, Nick Jonas, Zed, Benny Bronco. Talk about getting passed around. Damn. Damn. Is it a fan account? Is it not even her? Oh, it is not even her. It's not even her. I thought it was really her. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh, come on, Selena. Have a little fun. It's a fan account. Oh my God. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else breaking, so I think we'll cut it there. We've been streaming over 2 hours. I would like to go eat breakfast. And if you're curious, well, Brad, what are you going to eat? I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal, some cinnamon, brown sugar, protein milk, and forgetting something. I think that's it. And then I'm going to have a protein shake. By the way, I'm up to running 4 miles now. Finally reached 4-mile mark. So that's kind of cool. I got to lose weight. I'm getting too chubby. I got to look good. Daddy has to look good. Oh, I want to address this too. You guys, do not take any of my jokes. Don't read into them. It's not for anybody other than if anybody, it's more for me than anything to laugh. So somebody was like, made the comment yesterday, and bless your heart, by the way, because I know you commented on all that stuff, said, "Oh, what you were making a lot of sexual jokes yesterday. Did you like recently get laid or something?" Don't read into any of that. It's just to make people laugh, and it's to have a good time, you guys. If I make any jokes, don't take it to heart. Do not try to read between the lines on the jokes. Don't just laugh about it and move on. Do you know what I mean? I just want to be clear. We're doing the deep voice yesterday, joking around, being silly. If I make any sexual jokes, it's a joke. Don't read into it at all, please. I know most of you know that, but please, just laugh. And if you don't find it funny, that's okay. Move on. Brad, you can offend us all you want. Yeah, screw you. Brad, I don't want to, Jeff. Jeff, don't make me do things I don't want to do, baby. Don't make me do things I don't want to do. Anyways, I hope you guys have a lovely day. What is it? Wednesday? What is Thursday? Oh, I guess we're doing just Thursday. What happened to Wednesday? Holy crap! Yo, hand to God, I thought it was Wednesday this entire time. We'll be back here for Dark MAGA. So Dark MAGA might be a little short today. We're going to do an hour. We're only going to do an hour on Dark MAGA, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back here later today for Dark MAGA. We're only going to do an hour. Starting next week, for the rest of the month, Dark MAGA is going to be open up for everybody. If you're confused what the hell Dark MAGA is, Dark MAGA is where we put on the MAGA hat. And when you go dark, shit gets crazy. We'll probably be watching the riots or something. We'll probably watch riots and do something fun. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we always have a good time nonetheless. Appreciate all of you. Should we raid somebody? Is there anybody to raid? Let me see this real quick. Let me see. Let's try to raid somebody small if we can. Any small people? Who's this? Hold on. Let me go back. Who's this? Yeah, we'll do this girl. I don't know. We'll give her a nod. We'll kind of see what she's about. We'll raid her. If you don't like her, then that's okay, but plug her show. Appreciate all you guys. God bless you. See you in a little while.